With Fireless Cremation, and this is the FC440. Joey Hayek is here. He's the owner of Aqua Cirrus. So we're here in Hillsboro, Oregon, outside of Portland, and we're actually the humans in here. And right now what we've done is we've added all the chemicals, and now we're actually heating it up. So the guys who actually designed this were systems engineers from Ball Aerospace. So when we said, hey, look, we need something that'll work, that's what these guys came up with, was a real simple design where you get this wave action inside. So we call this the wave vessel, because when it starts rocking, think about it, it's like a seesaw. So it starts going like this, up and down. What happens is the fluid comes down this way, hits this end, and you get this curl, and it comes back. So with the flame cremation, you might give back 3 to 5 pounds of cremains. With this, I mean, I've weighed it, we're typically giving back 6 to 12 pounds. So when you burn a body, about half the bones go out the smokestack. With this, none of the bones go out the smokestack. In fact, there's no smokestack. There's no combustion.
All stainless steel construction. The welds are all pretty nice. You have a lot of control valves, filters, pumps. These are all controlled by the computer in the control panel. The effluent flows out from there into the basket filters. So it'll come in here in the top, go through a cylindrical basket that's like a stainless steel screen, and then it'll flow out the bottom. This is our pump down here that creates the circulation out of the machine. Once the neutralization is complete, then we can discharge to the sewer. The control valve will change the direction from recirculating back into the tank to our discharge. The discharge is set up to where you can discharge to the sewer via this white pipe, or you can discharge it to a tank if you need to capture all the effluent. On this side over here, we have the chemical drums. They're also controlled automatically, and they have actuators that process into the tank. This unit here is the air scrubber. You'll see this white hose and pipe over here that go from the machine over. It's a vent hose. Any air vent from the machine goes into that, and it's basically like a waterfall effect in there. It's mixing with the air and just taking whatever small amount of smell there actually is out of it completely before the air is vented out through the roof vent. I have not noticed any smell outside during this process at all.
This is the first wet scrubber we've ever put in, and it really is to make sure that you don't get complaints. I mean, the last thing you want is the complaints.
This is making cremation great. No emissions per se into the air. I used to say it was the future of cremation. No, this is the now of cremation. We have to start being more environmentally friendly. This is not going to draw any complaints. No one's going to complain about alkaline hydrolysis. This machine, I'm looking at, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the differences between this, the FC440, compared to the FC600. I love the latches on here. This is great. The circular module over here that gives the circular rotation that rocks the vessel back and forth in a seesaw manner. What that does is it starts to move the body within the vessel, and that disarticulates all of the skeletal connections, and so we don't have a problem with introducing the solution into the cranial cavity and getting the hydrolysis of the brain, because eventually the body starts to move around and it bumps around. You might hear that today, the body bumping around inside of the vessel, and that is essential to get that complete hydrolysis within less than 3 hours. One thing I like about the FC systems is that they use much less water than other systems. We're looking for the most efficient, effective way, the most environmentally friendly way to do cremation. And a lot of the families that we serve are becoming interested in it. Fire or water? Water? Well, what do you mean water? Water cremation. Yeah, water cremation is chemistry. Fire is it's a brutal process. It really is. 1,650 degrees is the minimum temperature in Maryland. We're talking about fossil fuels. My crematory supervisor, we say, oh man, these ashes are beautiful. And they indeed are. What we have left is calcium phosphate minerals that we give back to the family. They are softer, they are whiter, they have not been charred by the fire. We have more of the remains to give to the family. Families are not hurt by the fact that their loved one is going through the fire. I get calls every day from funeral homes and from people who are interested in it. Now is the time.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about pets, because we are seeing that things like water cremation for pets has become very popular. And there's only, as I know, one other system out there, and it uses agitation. It looks like a stainless steel tub, and it's got a propeller in the bottom, and it's got baskets in it. And what I've experienced, because I've been out to a number of these facilities, is a lot of the times the smaller pets, there's no bones left in the basket. So people put them in like little tea jars. They'll wrap them in some kind of fabric to try to keep the bones in that basket for the smaller pets. The problem is, without the agitation and without the co-solvent, you're looking at 18 to 24 hours. And at the end, is there still sodium pentothal left in the body? And what's happening with the effluent? Is that completely safe to go down the sewer? Is it sterile if there's still a brain left and there's still tissue on there? You take our essence, like at my former funeral home, and what the Natural Funeral does is they take the essence and put it in IBC totes. All fall, all winter, all the way to spring, it's sitting in those. There's no mold. There's no growth. It's completely sterile. And then they take it out to the farms. It's worth about $10 a gallon to farmers. It's potassium acetate. So we're not using carbon dioxide, which is a really weak acid.
Sorry to interrupt. So we've achieved 160 degrees now, and we're ready to start the motor. We're going to start the wave motor. It's set to run for 150 minutes or 2.5 hours. There it goes.
Amazing.
This is the #1 feature of this machine. This is why it works so well.
The body is actually moving in there. So this cam motor should last 7-10 years before it needs any servicing. But anyway, let's get back to the pets. So what we've designed is something very different when it comes to doing pets. Instead of having these baskets that you have to risk your fingers on trying to line them up just properly, what you can do is put the pets in polypropylene bags. So you just put the pet in there. When you're done, you take it out, you dry it, and then you shake the bones out. You got all the bones specific to that pet. But you can do multiple pets at a time. So we've designed it so you can do a Great Dane all the way down to like a toy poodle or even a lizard. Or in the case of a human system, you could put a small child in there, an infant, even a fetus. We are going to be making an announcement. It might be about a month out, but we're coming up with a pet system that should sell for about $60,000, but it's going to take longer. So this system here, if you did pets, you're looking at about a 5-hour start to finish cycle. The new system, right now I've got it down to about 15 hours, which is still faster than the other systems.
I'll give you my opinion on water cremation. I think it's good. So you have the big machine that looks like a washing machine. It's the most expensive machine that's out there. There's coils underneath the tray that holds the body, I believe, that heat up. Then there's a secondary machine that those of us in the industry, they're going to hate me, call the clown cannon, because it looks like a microphone like this, but then when it's doing the process, it tilts. So that's why it got the name the clown cannon. My experience with that machine has been that there's a lot of reports of not doing complete dissolution, which Ed touched on earlier when he was discussing the pets, and I'll leave it at that. This is my first time seeing this machine in person, and I've seen the demonstration on the internet before, was immediately fascinated. I saw it at Joseph Brown's facility. As somebody that has worked in death care since the 1900s, I like to say, this is amazing. Yeah, I see this definitely as a replacement for flame cremation, especially as the consumer, the unwilling consumer, gets more educated on what is available and what is out there.
The wave action step has completed. It ran for 2.5 hours, and now we're ready to begin the pH neutralization process, which happens inside the tank. So right now, the pH level of the effluent is at about 13 or 14. I'll know in a minute once it starts circulating. Now it's starting the neutralization process. The valve has opened here at the drain of the tank. You can see there's fluid now in the hose going through the basket filter and all the way to the pump. It takes a little bit to get enough fluid in there to prime the pump. Once that happens, it'll start recirculating back through the machine, through this piping here and along and back into the back of the machine. The pump has come on now. You can hear it. It's not very loud at all. So it's now recirculating back through, passing the pH meter, coming around, and then back into the tank.
Just marveling at how
quiet it is.
Yeah,
I know, it really is quiet. I mean, you wouldn't even know this thing was running. So the neutralization is complete. It is now at 9.4.
So this is how you could give the essence back to the family?
This is very low viscosity, very watery emissions that is not sludge.
So it's within a point, and they're both under 10, so we're good as far as the clean water people are concerned. They require between 4 and 11, and they asked for 10, so I'm giving them 9.8, so that's pretty good. And we start the cleaning process. So the water is on, so now hot water is going into the tank through the spray nozzles that are in the lid of the tank. They're perforated so that it sprays throughout the tank.
So now when Joey comes in, he'll have an upgraded software. He'll hit go. He'll come back, he can go home at night, and the bones will be here. So you can see the bones are completely hollow. There's some skull. There's no real fat on this stuff. It's actually very easy to break it. Then we have the screens. So this keeps the bones from going down.